The Bible says it is with the mind that we serve the Lord. It is with the mind that we serve the Lord. The mind is the battleground. It is the place where the greatest conflict is. There are more people in this room having trouble in their mind than there are people having trouble in their finances. The struggle is in your mind. This is why we have people who go to bed tired and wake up tired. Slept 8 hours and you wake up still tired. The reason you wake up tired is that you got sleep but you didn't get rest. Your mind has been in turmoil all night long. You've been wrestling in your sleep. Have you ever woke up and your bed was wet? The bed is all tore up just like you've been in a fight because your mind has not rested. Your body went to sleep, but your mind is still caught up in a warfare. Your mind is the battleground. Touch somebody and tell them the enemy is after your mind. Out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream. The warfare is in your mind. It's not in your checkbook. It's not in your savings account. It's not on your job. The fight that you got to fight is in your mind. And if you whip it in your head, you can whip it in your checkbook. You can whip it on your job. You can whip it out of your children, but you got to drive it out of your head.
Thank you. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, she does not know her beauty. She thinks her brown body has no glory. If she could dance naked under palm trees and see her image in the river, she would know. But there are no palm trees on the street, and dishwater gives back no images. Still, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I know you'll be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Congratulations, saints. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm honored to be here, to be asked by SCAD, to be invited by your president, to be welcomed by your faculty and your board of trustees, and certainly by you graduates, and insisted by Dr. Bernie Casey. I am pleased really to be here because I know something about you that you may not know yet. Every person in this auditorium, in this building, has already been paid for. Whether the ancestors came from Eastern Europe, trying to escape the pogroms, the little and large murders, arriving at Ellis Island, having their names changed to something utterly unpronounceable, or if the ancestors came from Ireland or Germany in the 1840s and 50s, when the potato blight assailed both those areas, or if the ancestors came from Scandinavia, or Malta, or Italy, or South America, or Mexico, trying to find a place that would hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves and their countless generations. Or indeed, if the ancestors came from Asia in the 1850s to build this country, to build the railroads, unable legally to bring their mates for 8 decades. Or if the ancestors came from Africa, unwillingly, bound and tied, lying spoon fashion, that is back to belly, in the filthy hatches of slave ships, and in their own and in each other's excrement and urine. They have paid for each of us already. It is important, if not indeed imperative, that each of us remembers and realizes and remembers this, so that we will know we have been paid for, that indeed there have been saints who have marched in for us without any possibility of knowing our names, what names we would have, what mad personalities we would foist upon the world, indeed what our faces would look like. They have paid for us already. It is imperative, really, that you understand. I'm speaking particularly to the graduates, directly to each of you privately, personally. Bitter men, bitter men, bitter men, get 'em in. Look where he brought me from. Bitter men, get 'em in, bitter men. The sun is hot and mighty bright. Let's get down to business, get home tonight. Bitter men. Bitter men, bitter men, bitter men. Auctioning slaves is a real high art. Bring that young gal out here, Roy. She's good for a start. And bitter men, get 'em in, bitter men. Now here's a real good bite, about 15. Her great-grandmammy was a die-homey queen. Look at her, she sure ain't homely. Like Sheba in the Bible, she's black but comely. Bitter men, get 'em in, bitter men. Look where he brought us from. Oh. Hey, hey, hey. I'm gonna start at 3. Can I hear 3? Step up, gents. Take a good look, see. I know you'll want her once you see her. She's young and ripe and make a damn good breeder. Bitter men, get 'em in, bitter men. Look where he brought us. She's good in the field. She can sew and cook. Strip her down, Roy. Let the gentleman look. She's full up front. She's ample behind. Examine her teeth if you got a mind. Look, look. Here's a bid of 3 from a man who's thrifty. 325, can I hear 350? Your money ain't earning you much in the banks. Turn around, Roy, let him look at a flank. Bid 'em in, get 'em in, bid 'em in. Look, look. 350 is the bid, I'm looking for 4. I hear 4, 400, she's a bargain show. 4 is the bid, 455. Now look alive. Bid 'em in, get 'em in, bid 'em in. Don't mind the tears. That's one of her tricks. Turn around, boy. Can I please hear 6? She's healthy and strong. She's well equipped. Make a good lady's maid when she's properly whipped. Bid 'em in, get 'em in, bid 'em in. At 7, I'm gonna let her go. 7, 7, 7. She's gone. Strip her down, Roy, and bring the next one on. Bid 'em in, get 'em in. Look where he brought us from. Hey, hey. Oh. Miss Rosie, when I see you, you brown bag of a woman, wrapped up in your mind like last week's grocery list. I say, Miss Rosie, when I see you, sitting in your old man's shoes with the big toe cut out. When I see you, Miss Rosie, who used to be the prettiest gal in Georgia, used to be called Georgia Rose. I say, when I see you, Miss Rosie, I stand up. Because through your life and even your destruction, it is given to me to stand up. Ladies, sisters, my daughters, I'm delighted to be here. Delighted. I was so pleased when I spoke to the choir mistress, and she said, yes, she would sing this song. They would try to find it. And my Lord, did they sing it. My Lord. And when your president called me and said, girlfriend, I said, how high do you want me to jump, Janetta? Just tell me how high and when. Because I belong to you. You are mine. You are absolutely mine. I have given birth to each one of you. because I have dreamed you. I have loved you. As your parents and your aunts and your uncles and your fathers and all your teachers have loved you, you are created. We have invented you because we have stayed alive somehow, miraculously. People live in direct relation to the heroes and sheroes they have, always and in all ways. And it is imperative that you see yourselves as having been loved and are loved now. It is imperative that you do so. You are cared for. You know that the first Africans were brought to this country in 1619. I don't mean to cast aspersions on my white brothers and sisters who may or may not be in the audience, but that was, I'm not signifying either, that was 1 year before the Mayflower docked. Hello? Hello? We have undergone experiences too bizarre to be included in Mr. Alex Haley's phenomenon, the book Roots, or in the television phenomenon Roots. And yet here we are. Did you know that in 1870 and 80, there were statements made in Southern legislatures that by 1920, all blacks would be dead or gone? Here we are, upwards of 40 million, and that's a conservative estimate, because I know people who swear there are more than 40 million black people in the Baptist church. Hey, that's it. That's right. They're not even counting backsliders, AME, CME, and the 3 black atheists in the world. Here we are, and you are born right out of their heads, right out of their hearts. They have loved you. You see, you have already been paid for. Isn't that amazing? Already. You do not have to pay for yourselves. We have paid for you. All those men and women who went before you have paid for you already. And young men and women, young women who are just starting into Spelman, you have been paid for. The reason you study, the reason you do the best you can, the reason you stand always as black queens with something of the, as Gwendolyn Bennett says, something of your queenly nature in your walk, remembering something of the sweet poignancy of your slave history in your voice. That is your history too. The reason you do so is so that you can prepare yourself, as Dr. Brown said, to pay for someone who is yet to come. That is the only...
Love lifted me, love, yes, lifted me, oh, when nothing else could help, it was your love that lifted me. Oh, love, it lifted me. Oh, love lifted me. Oh, when nothing else could help me. It was your love that lifted